Hello and welcome to the third and final video of this video series. In the first video, we talked about the 6 different areas that you should focus on to get a 537% growth rate in a strategy cycle. These include strategy, execution, culture, structure, and then picking 2 of the 4 secondary categories: talent, innovation, leadership, and mergers and acquisitions. The second video, we talked about some of the pitfalls, because if we know what the 6 areas are, why can't we just do it? Well, because change is hard, and 70 to 75% of change efforts tend to fail, with reasons like people focusing on procedures versus outcomes. People don't view it as part of their daily job. They view it as something extra that someone else will do. Those are the things that you want to watch out for. And really having someone there taking you through that change and transforming it really will help you. The expert will help you avoid landmines. They'll actually help you take your vision and turn it into reality. We actually do this all the time for our clients. And every company is a little different, but I wanted to kind of go into what are some of the basics that you can do. Like I said, everyone's different, and you can still use this structure, so take what you can from it. First step is going to be digging deep, finding out what is really going on. What are our strengths? Where are we really doing well? Where are some areas of opportunity? Where can we shift resources? Are we putting resources exactly where we want them to be? We want to start off with a true current state. Where are we now? The next step is going to be, hey, what's our future state? What do we want to be? What is our strategy cycle? How long is it? What's included in it? We use what's called a treasure map. We like to call it a treasure map because X marks the spot on the treasure map. And we have a formula called an X matrix that helps you get there. In the X matrix, you'll actually have your breakthrough objectives in your strategy cycle, all the way down to what you need to be working on this year, with actions, with projects, with goals. You have owners of those goals and actions, and you have the metrics that you need to be successful. Because if you don't measure it, it's not going to be important to people. Once you have your current state and you have your future state and you have that plan to get there, that's not going to be enough. You're also going to need a governance structure. What a governance structure is basically a meeting once a month to 4 times a month where you sit down with either a leadership team, or you can have everyone sit down together and review performance relative to where you said you were going to be. So what you do is you say, okay, how are we doing in this topic? How are we doing in this area? If you're not hitting your goals, the really important part comes in here. You really want to have corrective action. And corrective action not being get rid of your employees, which a lot of people may think is the right way to go. What you really want to do is figure out, okay, what's the real problem here? And how do we really fix that so it never happens again? Along with that, there might be a lot of good, what I'll call tribal knowledge that comes out of this. Joe knows XYZ about a certain machine or a certain process that no one else really knows about. So you really got to get that out of them and really make sure you get that paper, because as you grow, you can't afford to have too much tribal knowledge flying out there because you're not going to be able to grow as effectively. When someone leaves, if someone leaves, you're going to take a few steps backwards. So you have a where you're at picture, you have a future picture, and then you have the governance that takes you through that. When I first started working with a client, our organization actually worked with this client about 3 or 4 years ago. And when we started, they were taking the 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 1 step back. They were making progress, but at a slower rate than they could make. When we took over, we decided to implement this process of assess where we are today, look where you want to go in the future, and then govern. And more importantly, we work with them in the governance meetings every single time they have one to course adjust, help them with that. And because of that, they've been seeing great growth rates over the last couple of years. And even this year, they're tracking better than they have the last 4 or 5 years, even before we worked with them as an organization. So again, you want to make sure to get an expert to really help you through this journey, to help take your vision, turn it into reality, and to help avoid those landmines that people just don't know if they're there or not. Thank you again, and I hope you really enjoyed the assessment if you've taken it. And if you haven't, just click above where it says assessment. And companies who have taken this, they've really seen where their strengths are and really been able to take areas of concerns and turn them into potential strengths. And by doing that, it's really helped them get to that 537% growth over the strategy cycle. And hopefully, you can achieve those same results or even better. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you.